Hey everyone, it's John Corella, one of the co-creators and executive producer of Dance Moms. Well, you're back for part 2 of more tips for dance competitions and performance, and just if you are also an athlete. In our last conversation, I feel as though I talked more. Actually, I did. But I know it's because I've been in the dance competition world for over 30 years, but it was really good to kind of share and see how similar Lisa and I, and just there were so many mic drops on that one. And there is even more mic drops on this one. We go more play by play. We finish up being at the competition, competing, and the aftermath, as well as awards, just how to deal with all the feelings, positive and negative, that come along. And she gives even more great mental health advice that I will be using. I know your kids will be using, and you will be using. So here we have part 2, dance competition tips with Lisa. For a 10-year-old kid in the car, driving to a competition can be nerve-wracking for the parent and the child. Yes. What do you do to the drive to the competition? And what if a kid starts feeling nervous? What does a parent do in the car driving there?
Yeah, it's always okay. Everything is okay. All right. If they're nervous, don't try and talk them out of it.
Don't talk them out of it.
Yeah.
I know we all were taught that, dance moms, dance dads, but let's do different.
Well, there's something about the, a history of teaching kids to perform, and whether that's in a sport like gymnastics or dance or anything else, it's, be tough, suck it up. You can do it. Come on, and it's like, rise to the occasion, right?
You can do it.
You can do it, right? It's a challenge.
That was a big thing in the 90s after an Olympics. You can do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's something still very wonderful about that, but we want it to be not our choice as the adults to suck it up, to rise to the occasion. We want it to be their choice. So
we want it to be their choice. I think that's a really good thing to remember in those moments of them feeling nervous, what comes to mind is Carrie Strug, with her ankle. What did she want to do? And if she wanted to go,
who knows? I mean, she
might not even know.
Exactly. I'm so glad you said that, because we remember things differently. We are influenced by the people that we love and care about, and I'm sure she had some very positive feelings, at least at the time. I don't know about now, about her coaches. And so, Jennifer Say, who I just really admire for how she, created Athlete A and her books and everything that she stands up for. She's just wonderful. And so Jen, what she said I think it was in Athlete A, is when you think about that scene from the Olympics when Carrie Strug hurt herself on the first vault and had to go for the second vault in order to win, she did not have a choice. Bella was standing on the side saying, "You can do it. You can do it." So in that moment, she had no voice and she was in pain. Now, maybe if it ever is it the child's choice, maybe they want to
and I feel sometimes in these, going back to Carrie Strug, and sometimes it all happens so fast.
Yeah.
And you don't, and you're like, you don't have a choice. So you almost all of a sudden it happens and you didn't get to use your voice. You didn't have a choice. So when you practice having a voice, you can use it in that real time, where I think Simone, obviously I don't know if she was older, but I think she had really seemed as though she had developed with her coaches to have her point of view and her choice already going up to that. And
well, that's how
stuff,
she grew
Lisa.
up with that's how she grew up with Amy Borman as her coach, is that they did not go to all the camps because Amy said, your health is more important. So it was something I think that that Simone kind of was developed. Her mind was developed in that way, that her health was more important. What is the strategy here? Is it just to obey and do what everybody tells her to do? Or is it to say, hold on, let me think about this. What's my strategy? If I skip this camp and I don't compete in this next meet, but I'm looking ahead to a month or two down the road, that's where my goal is to be peaking at that time, not showing everybody this weekend how good I am.
It's, I love that word bold. I'm a lover of boldness and fierce. And what she did was bold.
Bold.
Because in this day and age, still, you and I can sit here and agree on that. There's people that that have made fun of her.
Yep.
That have said you are weak, you are, and that takes such boldness and courage in this day and age to choose yourself.
Yes, and so whatever the kids are growing up with, whether it's at home, are you giving them options? There's still ways to have these children feel safe and in control under pressure, as long as you teach them to go inward. You teach them to take the breaths. You teach them to say positive things to themselves, right? Positive self-talk. So in my book, there's the 6 mental skills: breathe, relax, positive self-talk, recall, visualize, and concentration. And when you teach them these very simple, very basic things, I use these skills pretty much every day. And I learned them when I was 15, when I had a big crash in the gym. The story is in the book, Focused and on Fire. And instead of being ruled by your environment, instead of being overpowered by other people putting pressure on you, it's teaching them to go inward so that they're in tune with themselves.
With
so
their spirit, like I said, their inner voice that will actually, this is not why we get in tune with it, but that's the voice that actually gets them to become better at dance, at gymnastics. It is.
It is. Yeah. It's their voice. And that's what the 14-year-old gymnast that I was talking about in Oklahoma. So last night she said, you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to flip my vault. I want to do it tomorrow. And she hasn't done it for probably, I don't know, a month, 2 months. And she's like, I just feel like I want to. And so it's her choice, instead of coaches or parents saying, what's wrong with you? You should be doing it, And I
believe in
really
and you also believe in these kids and your kid that they're going to make a good choice, that they are going, believe in them. Don't be
ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. Don't be afraid that if they don't do one competition, that they're going to quit dance or that they're not going to go to the next one. Or believe that in their love of dance, believe in them. And that even if they quit gymnastics or dance, they're going to find something else that they love and do. These are really good, these questions. So arrival at the competition or meet. We kind of covered that as far as nationals, but when you get there and you get out of the car and you're walking into the dressing room, you see other competitors, you hear the music going. What are your thoughts and feelings about arriving at a dance competition? Any tips?
I think you want to just orient yourself with where's the bathroom, where's the dressing room, what and kind of feel like I know where the stage is, I know where to go, I know where the stage hand is, or anything, the dressing room, anything that you need to know, the facility, how you're going to be there, use it. I think that's the number one, the most important thing. When I coach teams in gymnastics, as soon as we get in, we find out, okay, so where's the locker room? Where's the bathroom? Okay, now we're in the gym where the competition is. All right, where are the chairs that you're going to put your bag down? All right, where are you going to stretch and warm up? All right, let's get familiar with where the equipment is.
Find your space.
Find your space. And I think that's the very first thing. Yeah.
it's sad that I have to bring this up, but of
Oh,
course, when you're dealing with body and gymnastics and dance,
mm,
we want to treat the body healthy.
mhm.
What do you recommend in eating before a competition?
Mm. So it takes some time for your body to digest food. So I usually, and I'm not a licensed nutritionist by any means, there are people that I would recommend. I think that if you have any concerns whatsoever, that having a few sessions with a sports nutritionist is very important. Certified dietitian.
I love that. That would be great
Yeah.
for dance studios to bring into their dance
Oh,
studio at the
absolutely.
beginning of
They
the
should.
season.
Yeah, I would say have some resources. Have, 2 or 3 nutritionists that, you recommend, or at the very least you say, well, we haven't worked with them, but these are some names and their contact information. You can check them out. When you are helping to facilitate learning and education, especially about the body, that is so helpful for these parents and kids. They really need that kind of support, and that you're open to it. You're not just, we'll just eat carrots,
And
You
that's what
need
I
to
was
make,
trying to say.
yeah, yeah. They need fuel. Yeah,
What in
they
your
need
opinion
fuel.
is good fuel before you go and compete? In your opinion.
So So what I've learned from nutritionists is that carbohydrates are really important. So you can get plant
Okay.
carbohydrates, but then you also have your starches, right? Um, there's certain foods that I think are going to digest more slowly, that are going to work as fuel in your body, and they work slowly. I know if you have like sugar, that's not going to help. I wouldn't recommend chocolate bars or any kind of sugar.
No
Um,
toddlers in tiaras, sugar sticks
No
before
sugar
they get out
sticks.
on stage.
Yeah, no, I would
What
say
and how so
just
what would
healthy.
be so you were saying as long as it digests slower, that's the food to eat before a
Um,
competition.
yeah, again, I'm going to default to nutritionists on any kind of
Okay.
details. I would say it probably takes an hour and a half to 2 hours for your body to digest. If you're going to fuel your body in gymnastics, you're flipping a lot, and so you don't want to be
Yeah.
throwing up your food, right? You
Well, in
want to
dance,
feed.
some of these kids have 9 competition numbers.
Oh, and
It's
I
not
didn't know
just
they were doing
solos,
that
it's group
many.
numbers, it's
That's
duets,
true.
it's
That's true. That's true.
so they're dancing
Yeah.
for 3 hours straight.
Yeah.
So you get into the dressing room, you find your space. If we were competitors, you and I would just become friends. But unfortunately in
Yeah.
these competitions,
Yeah.
there's a lot of bad behavior going on from kids, parents, other coaches. How do you deal with that when your other competitors are not as awakened as us, Lisa, and they are being acting rude, being competitive,
Hmm.
taking up your space?
Hmm.
How what would be good dressing room behavior to deal with that? Because now we're in the dressing room. I'm giving you a
Right
play
now
by
we're in the
play.
dressing room. Yeah. So I remember the dressing room. I was older as a dancer. I was not. It was like I was professional after college. So
I guess I
there
would be
was.
saying those that are trying to psych you out in the
Right.
dressing room.
Right. So, what I teach young kids and parents, and when I consult coaches, is that the more positivity, the better. If you
Mm,
if you have the intention that you're going there to, I mean, the whole story in the book is need your opponent, then kick their butt. So you need opponents to compete against. You cannot go to a dance competition by yourself and compete. You have to have other dancers, right? Other teams. And so thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm so grateful that I have opponents. So right away, instead of thinking, oh gosh, opponents, I'm going to be, you're putting up a wall, you're a fear, you're more sensitive. But if it's like, thank you that I have opponents. And if you, parents and dance teachers, if you prepare your kids, some kids are fighting to win, right? And some kids are fighting to get their space. All right. We're just going to send them a blessing. Okay. And then we're going to focus on ourselves. So,
and it sounds as though the parents can do this as well. Dance moms, dance dads.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank the other dance moms and dance dads for being there. Else
Amen.
Your child wouldn't have a competitor. Dance teachers, coaches, thank the other teams, coaches for being there and creating these amazing, talented kids that you are being challenged with. So I think we all can take that. Thank you so much. What advice do you have for parents when they hand over their kids to a teacher or coach and they feel helpless? What can they do to calm themselves down, parents, before and during while their kid is competing?
Wow. Well, so the whole idea is that we are developing our children through these opportunities. We're giving our children opportunities to grow. And so unless you have a gut feeling that you're passing your child off to somebody that you can't trust, then maybe don't pass your child off. Don't do it.
Good. That's good to hear.
If there's a gut feeling that this is not a good thing, then don't do it. Hold on to your child. But if it's a regular practice at competitions that you are letting your child go, and now they're with other adults and you're in the audience, then this is a wonderful opportunity. Thank you that we get to be here. I'm feeling nervous as a mom. Okay, this is a good opportunity for me to breathe. This is a good opportunity for me to practice getting calm. All right, everything is okay. All right, if you go with somebody, maybe it's another mom, hold hands, right? Hug each other, take breaths together. But all of this is an opportunity for your child to learn how to be without you, how to listen to other adults, how to face challenges, right? And how to think for themselves. Yay!
Because nervousness projected out from what I've seen at dance competitions from mothers can be rather frightening at times when they project it out to their child, whether it's demanding or verbally abusive. Why did you not hit that? I say that because that's the flip side. If you don't,
and you know what that really is, John? That is the parent feeling out of control. The parent feels like their child is dancing, but they have no control in making sure their child performs well. They're handing their child off to a dance teacher or coach, and they have no control over that teacher or coach. So when it feels like they have no control, and then they also might be feeling a lot of times that judged, that if their kid doesn't do well, right? If they're not presenting themselves in the best light, if all of a sudden people see their flaws, their mistakes, their faults, that then they're going to be judged. And that's the parent needing to work on themselves. And
mic drop.
Mic drop. And that's
not work on your child's dancing.
Yeah,
work on yourself. Good.
Yeah,
okay.
And,
keep going. Sorry.
I was just going to say that we all have insecurities. We're all human. We all want people to like us. We all want to have approval. We all need affection, right? But when you start to feel tense, when you start to feel angry, when you start to feel your own emotions rising up, that means that you are having reactions. That's not anybody's issue. That's your issue. And that's your sense of feeling insecure, out of control, and maybe not confident. So that's okay. It's okay to feel that way, but you don't want to project that on anybody else. You want to have your own mindfulness practice. Have your own breathing and calming practice, right? Model that for your child. That's going to give them more stability, more inner strength, is just being a good model of that.
And you said the focus and inspired is for parents too. So I'm sure,
yes.
So it does cover that, I'm sure, as well. I want to make sure we hit this before the end is,
okay.
Speaking with kids, how do kids, because there's a lot of bad behavior that goes on at dance competitions, and not always everyone, but the majority can be bad. Mm-hmm. So we still have a lot of growth in the dance competition world. How does a kid put up with bullying from another parent because their mom is not there? You know, you drop your kid off, the dad is not there. How does a kid deal with bullying from another teammate, another competitor, or another coach, another adult?
So that does happen a lot. And that's in sports, that's in schools, it's in dance competitions, it's everywhere. And that is why it's so important to talk to your children about their own thoughts and feelings. They need to feel safe. And so there needs to be a person that they can go to where they feel safe. So if you have your child regularly attending any type of training, practice, rehearsals, anything, and there is some kind of bullying going on, it needs to be talked about openly and with whoever is the authority, whoever's in charge. They need to know about it. When you go to a competition and it comes out of nowhere, right, and all of a sudden somebody's bullying, you should be prepared in advance. Who is my safe person? I mean, you're saying it's the wild, wild west in dance. Well, years back, you're talking about, the 80s, the 90s. National team members would go to an international competition. Parents did not go. They just got on, the plane, and then they were in Germany or somewhere else with coaches who didn't treat them all right. And so they didn't have a person for safety. Well, we know better now. So
what do they do now? Do they have a safety?
I think they have athlete representatives, and they have other staff. It's not just the coaches.
So maybe it would be a good idea for dance studios to incorporate an athlete representative or a dancer representative in that capacity. If stuff like this does go on, they go to them. Would that be an adult or a child?
Well, sometimes they can sort of nominate or put it out there at the dance studio and say, this is for anybody from the ages of 15 to however old the dancers are. And somebody who's a teenager or a young adult can be an athlete representative. And then they would have an adult who would be the person to go to, whether that is somebody sort of like, they call them like a culture coach or some other kind of person who's in a safety, wellness and safety kind of role. And it can be a volunteer. It doesn't have to be that you hire somebody. It could be whether it's a community member, one of the parents who has some kind of background or experience in some kind of health and wellness. But you want just somebody who cares deeply about how the kids feel. It's not all about the performance.
Lisa, this is like so good. Sorry, everyone. This might be one of my favorite podcasts already. Sorry. Now we're on the stage. See the lights, Lisa. See the wings. I'm trying to do what you did. You dance, you fall, you fail, you forget. All your peers are out there. Your mom, the judges. You walk off stage. How does a kid handle humiliation coming off stage, failing?
They need lots of love. When our kids are going to fail, we all fail. We all go through it. And I took a course last spring called Mindfulness Self-Compassion. And this is one of the greatest ways that we can teach kids how to be resilient. First is being in tune with how they're feeling right now. I'm being very mindful that I'm feeling ashamed. I'm feeling embarrassed. I'm feeling like a failure, right? It's just being in tune with that. That's how I'm feeling right now. Naming it. Yeah, thank you. Naming it. Okay. And then you want to be surrounded by at least one person, one adult who is understanding, who is patient, who just is there with you. Doesn't have to fix it. Don't change it. Don't force it. Just be with them. I'm just going to sit with you. Okay. So that's the first thing. Common humanity is everybody feels embarrassed and ashamed and fails. Everybody does. That's part of being human. Okay. So it's not just me. I'm not the only one, but everybody experiences that. Right.
I am not the only one. In those moments, it would be good positive self-talk to say, I am not the only one that has ever felt this.
Yes.
And maybe that's not feeling it right now. There's other competitors that maybe failed, quote unquote, failed.
Right. And then the third prong, so it's mindfulness, common humanity, and then self-kindness. How can I be kind to myself now? All right. I want to feel good. And that can be, a plethora of different things, whether it's eating something good, putting on something that makes you feel good, being around people that makes you feel good, any kind of act of kindness to yourself or even kindness to somebody else, but definitely to yourself.
It feels as though all this stuff you're saying that it takes almost just as much, there's just as much hard work that goes into this part of a dancer or an athlete, as well as in the dance studio or the gym. You cannot be successful and miss this part.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, I used to say, gymnastics is 90% mental, but anything that you do, your head is you want to be CEO of your own brain. You want to be the captain of your own ship. You want to be the leader of yourself.
And do you believe an 8-year-old girl can do that?
I believe she can definitely learn. And I think that's what we tend to do is we dismiss the 6, 7, and 8 and 9-year-olds. We say, oh, they're so young. They're so little. They don't understand. Okay. Kids are very intelligent. So 8 years old, they do start to understand whether it's, somebody is mean to me and I want to feel better. I need a hug. Okay. So those are very basic, like emotional intelligence, learning to be thoughtful. Kids are very intelligent.
Even the 8-year-old or the 9-year-old last year, she was wise enough to know it's not going to be good for me if I go out there on stage.
She wasn't
maybe
in the
she would have quit dance. She might have quit dance. It could have been traumatic. She might have said, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
So, okay. So now we're at the awards.
Okay. We've arrived. We did the visualizing, right? We got there. We arrived. We got oriented and everything, and we're on the stage.
I almost told the dance teacher off in my mind. I saw the bad behavior. I didn't though, because I listened to what you said. I said a prayer instead.
You bless them. Bless you. As they say in the South, bless your heart.
I'm going to I have to do that a lot, especially coming up. I'm going to one in Riverside in a month. So let's do the flip. You did amazing. You were like, oh my God, I did incredible. I hit everything. I did 5 turns, releves. I was feeling it. Front aerials.
Yep.
Second jumps.
I
180. I love that you said, I nailed it. You go to the awards. You're like, oh my God, I'm going to get first overall. You already know what's going to happen. Going to get first overall. You get 5th. How do you deal? And it might be the same, but I
With the
heard
heavy
once that,
disappointment.
yes, with you did your best. You didn't fail. You did your best and you
Mm-hmm.
got fifth.
Mm-hmm.
And you get your award and you're up there and you're waiting. They call you out.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
not scores. You don't see the scores like gymnastics
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
until later. So you're like, oh, fifth is Lisa Mitzel.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Feel defeated.
Right.
Wait, I did my best. I didn't
Yeah.
get it.
What was the goal going into the dance competition? Was it to place first or was it to perform your best?
Good question. I think those are questions people need to ask themselves. Her goal was to get first. And she
So,
deserved first. I'm going to go, I'm going to have Daniela Silavas
okay.
on
Oh,
this
good.
around the Olympic time, who
Uh-huh.
inspired me as a dancer. And I can't wait for everyone. She
Yeah.
agreed. Daniela, you already agreed. So you have to
You
do it.
agreed, Danielle. You have to do it. She
But
has my book.
this happened to Melissa Marlowe and them in 88. They
Mhm.
did their best. They deserved the bronze. And on a
So,
political note, they didn't get it. So now what I'm saying is this is more of a political thing.
okay.
I deserved first and I didn't get it. How do we deal with that when there's things that are out of our control in these worlds that are political, that coaches do know each other, do know the judges?
Well, I hear that loud and clear. There's so much politics and judging and scoring and everything. And so how are we developing and raising our kids? Is it that you are only valuable in this world if you get first place? Is that your value in this world? Think about going to a competition and blessing and saying thank you for having all these opponents, right? I can't compete by myself, right? I need them, right? So whatever the intention is through their values, is my
Intention
value.
through their values.
So is my intention to go and do great because my value is that I have to get first place? Or is my intention to go do my best because I can inspire others and because this is a stepping stone for me to continue my journey?
I tell some of the dancers, some of our intention would be as long as you're in the mix. If you're in the mix of these, like you're standing next to a girl or boy who is incredible dancer and you got fourth and they got third. And then one next competition, you get second, they get third. If you're in the mix, be proud of that.
Yeah. I think that's wonderful. I think that what we do is we set our kids up to be disappointed. So when you say, just if you're in the mix, you're in there, you're doing it. That is exactly where you're supposed to be. Instead of, if you don't get first because you're really good, you should get first. So if you don't get first, then you're kind of failing and disappointing and gosh, you're embarrassing.
And I will say you're probably correct because the kids that I have seen that are disappointed, and this is over a 20-year of teaching, when they dance good and they don't get first, it's usually coming from the parents. Yes. So the ones that, not to say that they don't get disappointed, but this is a book, everyone, I want to write, and it's called Get, and I only have one more question after this, Lisa.
Okay.
Shoot for second, get first.
Oh, and there you go.
Because when I won Mr. Dance of America in the 90s, and I used to approach competition like that. I would want to be in the mix. I said, as long as I get second, I'm going to be happy. I was so shocked when I won. So it kind of goes to that. So the last question would be, and this is because this happened to me recently.
Okay.
And I'm not a parent, so maybe this is why. One of the other parents said, not that that's why, but this might be more common with parents. So this is more for the teachers and coaches. How do we handle when kids hurt our feelings when we're coaching them and teaching them?
Oh, gosh. I know that feeling. I've coached gymnasts for years, and even in the mental training and mental health, I am a very personable human. I am far from perfect. Nobody is perfect, but we want to be perceived as being great. And as coaches and teachers, we want to be thanked. We want someone to appreciate our effort, right? We want someone to appreciate that we are putting out time and energy, right? So the question is, why are we relying on a child to make us feel good?
Double mic drop. I just got read by Lisa. No, I'm going to write that down. Why are we relying on a child to make us feel good?
Yeah. Because,
oh my Lord,
that child is having their own emotions, their own struggles, right? We all are broken and human in our own way. And so don't rely on another person to give you validation. If you
especially a child.
Yeah, especially a child. And I say a child is never responsible, ever, for an adult's emotions.
Lisa. Whoa. I'm sorry. I'm learning a lot. This is good. They don't teach, that's unfortunately, I hope that a lot of dance studios, conventions that are listening to this bring you on. I think, I'll help you with your dance competition book.
All right. Let's
if you ever decide to do one, maybe we can do it together. But that is really good to hear. And that really has helped me and will help me with my teaching for sure.
Well, we need to get our value somewhere else from other things that we do. Instead, if we feel like we are of service, and this is what I woke up today. I didn't have a lot of energy when I woke up, so I kind of slowly came to waking up fully. And I just was saying to myself in preparation to be on the pod with you today is, thank you for this honor. Thank you for all the years of experience and the wisdom that I have gained, because I feel humbled and honored to be of service. And that's how we are as coaches and teachers. We are here to be of service. And if somebody on one day is mean to us or doesn't appreciate us, that's something that they're going through. That's not about us. If I did something that maybe caused you to feel insecure, that caused you to feel tense, I'm going to think about that. I'm sorry, whatever I did to contribute, I'm going to think about that and come back better tomorrow. Okay.
But I'm sure you still feel as well, if the kid did have bad behavior, that them apologizing is a part of the process, even if we aren't responsible for how they're making us feel. But as far as them learning to be accountable for their bad behavior, that saying they're sorry for how they treated their coach or dance teacher is a part of it as well, correct?
I think that can be part of it. I think that if we're making the apology the end all, now we're forcing the child to apologize. I think it needs to be a learning experience of everybody's thoughts and feelings. This is what I was thinking. This is how I'm feeling. When you said those words, this is how I felt. Okay. And we need to think about how we make other people feel. And that's learning that you have.
That's, and it sounds as though you talked about this in Focused and Inspired, is talk more. Sometimes maybe we don't have a dance class and we sit down for an hour and we talk.
Yes.
We talk about our thoughts and feelings about the competition, about what's going on, not just focused on this skill, this turn, this second jump. I'm going to do that. Okay, I have these last questions for you, and they involve dance. Okay. There's a little rapid fire. You're a part of the group too.
Rapid fire. Oh, goodness.
Instincts. Okay, here you go. Favorite dancer?
Oh gosh. This is not going to be rapid, but when I was growing up, my parents watched a lot of musicals. My parents were into music and singing and things. And Sid Cherie was just a
Sid
classical.
Charisse. Oh, yes.
Charisse. Yeah.
Amazing.
Charisse.
We just talked about her recently.
Gorgeous dancer.
So I'm going to do double with you because you're a dancer and a gymnast. Favorite gymnast?
Oh, okay. My kids ask me favorite questions. I'm terrible at these. Who's my favorite gymnast? I'm going to go back to my idol when I was a kid, Olga Korbut. There you go.
Amazing.
She was the darling of the 1972 Olympics. Of course, there's other gymnasts and, current day that I absolutely love. But I'm just going to go with that.
So Google Olga Korbut, everybody.
Yeah.
YouTube her.
She lit up the whole arena. She was just bliss. She was happiness. She was joy. She was everything.
Favorite dance movie?
Patrick Swayze just came to mind.
Dirty Dancing?
Yeah, let's go with Dirty Dancing.
Okay.
I love the back and forth. I like the partner. I like I like.
You know what I thought you were going to say?
Flashdance.
The movie Nadia.
Oh no! When Flashdance came out, I think I saw it 4 times. So
I love that movie.
Oh my God!
Favorite style of dance?
Oh gosh! You know what makes me happy is like a salsa. Like a cha-cha-cha and
I like that.
The Latin kind of feeling. I love
You're
that.
bringing some style into this. Salsa, cha-cha-cha. Yeah. Okay. Favorite event in gymnastics?
Beam.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite Broadway show?
I haven't seen one in a while. I've been wanting to see Lion King. I'm so behind. I'm going to just fail on this one.
No, okay. Well, how about I help you?
Okay, so when I'll tell you, and I'm going to go back to, I'm so not contemporary right now. I saw Rent. That was great.
Okay, Rent. There you go.
Yeah.
If you could, here we go. Favorite choreographer. I'm not even going to give you that because that might stress you out. Who's one of your favorite?
You know what? I just watched on Netflix the Hot Chocolate Nutcracker with Debbie Allen, and she is a fabulous choreographer.
Debbie Allen. Okay. This is not similar to, it's kind of similar to a choreographer, but favorite coach.
Favorite coach, like
gymnastics coach. Like mine would be.
I'm going to say Amy Borman.
Okay, great. What is one of the boldest things you've done in your life?
Well, when I think I was 20 and somebody was considering me doing the stunts for a gymnastics movie, and it got me thinking. I was still competing, so I couldn't do it. But it got me thinking about, because I wanted to be an actress and a dancer. And so I found out, I learned about the cattle calls in LA. I grew up just south of LA in Anaheim. And I took myself to an audition where there was probably 500 kids auditioning. And it was my first time ever. And I don't even know if I had pictures then. Maybe I had some kind of a picture to hand in as a headshot. And I had never done a professional audition. And it was the boldest thing because I assumed that I could do it. And this is a lesson for me in my whole life, is that not knowing the pressure and what everybody else was feeling, being innocent and green, I actually decided that I'm just trying this. I'm just going to go try it. And everybody else was more nervous than me, it seemed. I mean, people were just like talking and shaking, and they just looked nervous. And I was like, I wonder what this is going to be like, huh? And I get in there, and I was a little bit intimidated because the choreographer was counting so fast, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the lucky thing for me is that I could pick it up. But I think it was very bold of me to go and do that. I did get a call back. And then after that, I didn't get called back again. But yeah, I think that was very bold for a young 20-year-old, never having done that, never having taken any kind of, I took some dance classes, of course. I had a lot of dance, but never had done an audition before.
That was bold. That was really bold. And I know you've always been bold with your books. You know, when I met you, I think maybe at the 2017 Nationals with
it was
Daniela.
in Anaheim.
Yeah, in Anaheim.
Yeah.
You've always been bold and courageous in using your voice about keeping kids safe. So thank you for doing that. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much, John. You know, I'm going to go ahead and just say out loud, I did put a little hint on my Instagram, but I am starting my own podcast, and you are. So the reveal of the title and all that is coming, but it is coming, and you are one of the people that have inspired me. Just in the last 6 months, I've been kind of looking at quote unquote the signs, and that's going to be a very bold thing for me. I mean, putting the books out, putting my voice out there it is always a little bit scary, wondering how is this going to be received. But I think that I have this mindset of service. I have this mindset of I'm human, and to just be very humble in this world. And I do believe that I've been gifted all these wonderful experiences and people in my life that have taught me so many great lessons and given me some wisdom to share. And so I feel like that's my purpose, is to keep sharing. And so I'm very humbled and honored to be here with you and to be speaking and sharing my thoughts and everything with your dance community. And I hope I can continue to be in your community and talk with the people that would like to hear me.
You will. Anyway. And everyone, I'll put her links below as well for the books and where you can reach her. And congratulations on using your voice. You know,
Thank you.
We always will use our voice. So that's really good that we talked about giving these kids a voice, because they're always going to need them. And it's always going to feel scary, whether you're 8 or 47 like me. And we still do it.
Or 59.
And I would love to be on the podcast.
I would love to bring you on, John. It's not going to be a regular format of interviewing people, but I will be bringing little clips of people on. It's more about how can I serve and help through all the mental training, mental health, the stories of the athletes that I work with, the stories of the coaches and parents, lots of stories that I've been so again, honored to be a part of. And so for your audience, for all you dance parents out there, this is going to be a wonderful resource for you, especially in guiding and developing your kids to what I call high performance. Okay.
High performance.
Yeah. High performance for young athletes and dancers. Dancers are athletes. You guys work and train so hard. And I think that, you know, it's a gift for me to be able to address when you are feeling overwhelmed, when you're feeling nervous, when you're feeling pressured as parents, as dancers, as teachers. We're all in this community together.
Thank you, Lisa, so much. I appreciate you.
Oh, I appreciate you, John. Thank you.
Have a good day, everybody.
Yeah, everybody have a good one.
Thank you so much for listening to Dance Dad with John Corella. Thank you to everyone at Hivecast for all that you do. And if this episode meant something to you, please share it and subscribe. Also, you can follow Dance Dad with John Corella on all platforms. But most importantly, remember to be bold and be fierce.